Coming from Reuters, Amazon winds down most flagship AI models in the strategy overhaul. In which I have to say, they had flagship models? I guess I missed that. I'm not even trying to be snarky. I'm not even trying to be mean. Did you know Amazon had their own flagship models? Yeah, I always just kind of thought of them as infrastructure as a service. Was it Bedrock? Is it Bedrock is their thing? Anyways, basically running Anthropic models, running OpenAI, giving access to different people's AI models. I had no idea that Amazon actually had their own flagship models, but apparently they do. I guess they're called Nova, and it looks like they're going to be winding down a lot of those models. And I think this is an interesting thing to take a look at. Again, when we talk about deploying artificial intelligence into the real world, when we look past the technology itself. When we look past Sam Altman and Dario and all of that kind of thing, and we actually look at implementing this technology into enterprise environments, asking the question of, do we trust that the technology that we're going to deploy today is still going to be viable a year from now, or 2 years from now, or 3 years from now, right? Once something goes legacy, you never go back unless it stops getting supported. Right? That's one of the big problems you can run into is like a lot of people with VMware, right? People were happy with VMware. They were signing checks every year for VMware. And then Broadcom just decided to be a complete pile of jackasses, and now everything is going to hell. So you have all of these companies that were more than happy to stay with VMware, were more than happy to write checks to VMware, and now they are scrambling to get the fuck off that platform because of the disastrous policies of Broadcom. And I think that's one of the things to be thinking about with artificial intelligence right now is we are in the boom cycle, we are in the hyper investment cycle. This is what we always see in the technology world. There's the hyper investment cycle where everything is getting money. The problem is at some point, all of that investment money is going to go away, or it's going to be pulled back a lot. And then when that money gets pulled back a lot, only viable projects are going to be able to continue going forward. A lot of AI projects, a lot of technology projects that have been created during this time period are simply going to die. And one of the things that you have to be concerned about is sometimes the products that die are not the ones that you would expect to die, right? I've been talking a long time now about OpenAI. I think OpenAI is going to fail. I really genuinely think OpenAI is going to fail at this point in time. I don't think they have a path to viability. But OpenAI has been the front runner, right? What happens if you integrated OpenAI into the core of your systems and then they disappear tomorrow, right? That's the thing to be thinking about with VMware, right? VMware, you have never heard me be snarky about VMware. There is very little to be snarky about with VMware. Even their price point, at least back in the day when I dealt with VMware, was reasonable, right? If you had a pretty successful company that relied on their digital infrastructure, computer infrastructure, the price point was actually pretty reasonable, right? It wasn't something a mom and pop shop could afford, right? It was I think the entry price was about $3,000 back in the day. So it's not something that every company could afford. But, if you had 10 or 20 employees and virtualization actually mattered to you, $3,000 would be a drop in the bucket for that point, right? So the technology was good. The product was good. The technology was good. The price point was good. You've never heard me be snarky about any of that. Then Broadcom purchased VMware. And everything went to hell. Everything went to hell. And I think that's my big concern now for a lot of people that are deploying artificial intelligence products right now is you're deploying products that very well may not exist in a couple of years. And the problem is the migration path off of these AI products might be really brutal, right? So if you're thinking about email servers, again, migrating off of email servers sucks, really sucks. But you know what email is, right? Most of it runs off of essentially SMTP. So again, who's email going to? CCs, BCCs, subject, text underneath, auto signature. All of it's pretty simple, right? They've all got their own little fucking quirks, right? But it's all pretty simple, right? You go from one email server to another email server, right? You go from Office 365 to Google Mail. There is differences, but it's very easy to understand what the differences are, and then train people and integrate and all that kind of stuff. The issue that you get to with artificial intelligence, right, is that how you interact with it is significantly different, right? That's where we talk about things like prompt engineering or context engineering, right? Literally, how you quote unquote say things to different models will get different responses, right? You give the exact same prompt to 10 different models, and you will get significantly different responses from some of those models, right? So simply things like how to format structured data that is going to be coming back. How do you ask for things? Do you say please? Do you not say please? Do you talk like a caveman? Do you not? I mean, that sounds fucking ridiculous, but that's a real thing. Do not talk like a caveman. Like all of this kind of stuff, right? So it's not simply that, okay, we're going to pull out OpenAI and we're going to put in Anthropic. Okay, well, you do that part. That part's fucking easy, right? Service-oriented architecture. That's how that works, right? Okay, we're just swapping out the API. But then the problem is, like all of the prompting and everything else, and especially when you buried prompting into things, imagine if you have agents. Imagine agents interacting with things differently. Ah! So anyways, that's why I think this is kind of interesting with Amazon. Although I did not know they had the Nova models, to be honest with you. I'm sure there are people that were using the Nova models. And so when they're talking about winding down their flagship AI models, there is a real question for the people that built on those models about what does tomorrow actually look like. Amazon.com is revamping its AI strategy, winding down many in-house AI models and sharpening focus on a new frontier model effort, Business Insider reported. The company has begun deprecating most of its flagship Nova AI models. So deprecating is basically taking things offline. So again, if you've integrated their flagship Nova AI models into your systems, this might be a bad day for you, including the high-end Premiere and Omni models, Real Video Generation model, and Canvas Image Generation model. So again, think about this. If you're using them for image generation or whatever else, this could be a real issue for you. Instead, Amazon is increasingly moving resources towards a frontier model development led by researcher Peter Abil, with frontier research becoming a top priority this year at the company. The new flagship model is expected to debut at Amazon's reInvent annual conference later this year. Quote, as with any AI portfolio, we continually evolve our model lineup based on what customers need. And this is something that should make your ass pucker, right? They are continually evolving their model lineup based off of what, quote unquote, the customer needs, really what they need out of their bottom line, which basically means their product offering is going to be continuously changing. Again, and think about this with AWS. So AWS has a tremendous number of products, but so many of the products are basically the same. I was using Glacier. It was interesting. I was using Glacier for like 15 years. After like 15 years, they finally deprecated Glacier. Glacier was like a archival storage system. Anyways, but that Glacier was around for fucking ever. But they did finally deprecate it after 15 years, like 15 years, something like that. But think about this with these AI models, they haven't been around for 15 years. They're deprecating models after a couple of years. And one of the other things to be thinking about, again, if this stuff is built into your systems, one of the things to consider as a real technology professional is it's not about what you can do. It's about once you've left the company, right? 2 employees past you, are they able to maintain what you created? A lot of this technology, a lot of these stacks have basically been built on the fly, right? They've been built on the fly. Executives have been like, build AI, all this crap. And so one of the big concerns here is what happens if these models are built into core components of things your company is using? And then they get deprecated. And then they get deprecated. And that's the thing. We talk about like hard fails and soft fails. A hard fail is when something just fails. So let's say Google Gmail. Let's say Google just deprecates Gmail. One day, Gmail just don't work for anybody in the company, right? Then you know what's going on. You're pissed, but you know what's going on. That's a hard fail. You know what's going on. One of the interesting things with this, like with these models, and especially with kind of like agentic frameworks that have been created, where you might be using multiple different models in order to do different tasks. Different agents may have access to different models. Like one of the other interesting things about this too is imagine if you had this agentic framework where the agents within the system have the option to use something like 40 different models. So specific models will only be used in specific use cases. How often those use cases come up, who the fuck knows, right? Now imagine if random fucking models that those agents are supposed to use just start getting deprecated. And that's what we call a soft fail. So most of the time, the agents are working fine. Every once in a while, you get this real fucking weird like error out of the agent. You don't really know what's going on. And especially like if you create it like with PH or with Python, so you do these try except statements. Do you even know if the agent ran into a failure? So let's say, so try except is basically where you try to do an action. If it doesn't do the action, you can do something else, right? That's why it's called a try except statement. So let's say try to query the the agent to do something, except if that fails for some reason, return this other thing. What happens if your little agent is just creating a memory? And like there's never been a real failure before because it's an Amazon model and it all works fine. And so like what happens if that memory you just start getting error codes in the memory. So as it's trying to do its work, and then once in a while when it hits this particular model, and then the return from that model just gets kind of logged into its memory. So now the memory is just starting to get like all of these weird ass error codes. So instead of getting the response that it's supposed to get, it's getting error codes as a response. And then nobody really understands how these LLMs quote unquote think. They don't fucking think, but how they statistically do their analysis or whatever else. And so now it starts taking actions or doing things based off of a memory filled with error codes. Eli, if you're so smart, why are you just in your basement screaming into a camera? Are you starting to understand? Are you starting to grasp the misery that is coming down the road for you? Oh, Lordy. Oh, let's see here. Quote, we're continuing to invest in and support the Nova models our customers rely on today. We're also investing in the next generation of frontier model research. So that's kind of interesting. Again, they say support models our customers rely on today. At the exact same time, they're talking about deprecated models. So which is it? The move comes days after Amazon trimmed jobs in its artificial general intelligence group, with a spokesperson saying last week that the company was sharpening its focus on, quote, the initiatives that matter most for customers. Amazon has struggled to generate buzz around its Nova models. Yeah, I will agree with that. I didn't even know they existed. The way it rivals OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google have. The company has instead doubled down on providing crucial AI infrastructure for enterprises. But Amazon is not abandoning Nova altogether, and the new frontier model could emerge under the Nova brand. So, anyways, Amazon is pushing forward with their frontier Nova model. Did you know that existed? I mean, when I say the Nova model, I mean, you know what that means, right? No, I didn't know this shit existed. But the big thing to be thinking about is basically, yeah, that whole idea of what happens when core technology gets deprecated. And this is why even if the job of coding goes away, look, coders' jobs are not going to go away. They might decrease. The number of them might decrease. But anyways, but this is where I talk about like as a technology professional, the job of technology professional isn't going to go away. Why we are valuable, why professionals. I'm not saying motherfuckers who graduate boot camp and then go and make $100,000 a year eating fucking quinoa toast or whatever else. I'm talking about actual technology professionals. Actually, technology professionals, we make our money off of the whiteboard. The whiteboard is where we make our money, and then whether it's racking servers or writing code or whatever else, that is just the tedious work that is required to actually get the check in the mail. Right? The real value is the whiteboard. And then what most people think our work is, that's just the tedious crap you kind of have to do. And that's why I keep emphasizing that type of thing is because you've got to be thinking about the systems that you're going to be integrating. You really have to be analyzing, again, things like risk tolerance and all of that kind of stuff. And you really have to be gaming this stuff out and asking the questions of what happens if a core technology to your systems gets deprecated tomorrow? What happens if a company completely fails? What happens if a company relies on go all Broadcom on you? right? That is your job. That is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, not writing fucking function calls to APIs, right? And this is where we're gonna have more and more people really think about this, because again, like some bad decisions, right? If you hear Amazon is coming out with a frontier model, like I didn't know they had frontier models. To be clear, did not know. But if I had known that Amazon had frontier models, right, I would have had a level of trust for those. I would have been like, oh, okay, Amazon is getting the frontier game, just like Microsoft is, right? So Microsoft did rely on OpenAI. Microsoft is now pushing out more and more of their models for the Azure stack, right? So it makes sense, right? You're already going to AWS or Azure as your primary infrastructure as a service stack. They offer their own internal models. Why fuck with Anthropic? Why fuck with OpenAI when I can just use the models that they have on offer that are probably going to integrate with their systems better anyway, right? That's a bit of a no-brainer. But the problem that you run into is how many people be like, oh, okay, Amazon is going to offer these models. Yeah, sure, we'll just go fuck with fucking Amazon. We'll go with the Amazon models, and they don't realize nobody else is using Amazon models. Therefore, it's not a viable product. Therefore, that product is going to get deprecated at some point in the future. And oh crap, the core of your intelligence infrastructure just got deprecated, right? This is stuff that you have to be thinking about. But anyways, I'm just a guy in my basement. I'm just a guy in my basement with a big smile on my face, thinking about you guys. I'm like, oh, it's gonna suck to be you. Your life is about to be horrible. It's gonna be so, so horrible. I'm gonna go have a cup of coffee now. Pet my chihuahua. Ah, sorry. Sorry. This puts a smile on my face. What can I say? So what do you think about this? What do you think about Amazon deprecating their AI models? Did you know they had AI models to begin with? What do you think about this with them refocusing their AI effort? Now that you know they're deprecating some of their models, does that give you more confidence in the new models they're coming out with? Put your thoughts down below. If you like these episodes, do remember they're on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Link is down below. And if you want to follow me on LinkedIn, there's a link down there too. With that, see y'all later.